We start this edition with breaking news from the United States. Conservative U.S. commentator Charlie Kirk has died after being shot in the neck at an event in Utah. The 31-year-old's death was confirmed by Donald Trump himself, who has decried the incident on social media. Kirk was speaking at Utah Valley University when a single shot reportedly rang out. One person was taken into custody, but later released. The suspect remains on the loose. Let's go straight away to France 24's Wassim Cornet. Wassim, this is a death that will no doubt be reverberating throughout the United States as we speak.
Oh, absolutely. There's been reporting from inside the White House over the past couple of hours saying how much this has had an impact, a devastating impact on staffers, people crying, people anxiously trying to make calls to the Charlie Kirk entourage as he was speaking earlier this early afternoon in Utah. Trump as well speaking off the record, saying that he was, or to reporters saying that he was very sad, saying, quote, that this was one of the most horrific things he'd ever seen, that this happened to a great guy. And we cannot emphasize how close Charlie Kirk and his entourage were close to the Trump family and to the administration, very close to one of Donald Trump's sons. He really was the beating heart of the MAGA movement for several years now. As the founder of this conservative action group called Turning Point USA, he has been holding and organizing rallies, events at locations across the United States, primarily college campuses. I think it would be a fair analysis to say that the inroads made by the MAGA movement among young men, among young Gen Z men, is primarily thanks to people like Charlie Kirk, so a hugely influential figure. A very, very incredible organizer in terms of and galvanizer of the far right and conservative movement. And so clearly this is a very difficult day for that part of the United States. What we know right now, just an hour ago, we were hearing from the university itself that the suspect had been in custody. Now there is a denial saying we had seen footage of a man being arrested, an older white man being arrested, detained by police. Now officials are saying there is no longer a suspect in custody. That was the wrong person, and there might be a manhunt going on. And CNN reporting that that shot could have been fired by as much as 200 meters away. Finally, a word from local politicians. Utah Senator John Curtis condemning political violence, saying, quote, "This happened in my backyard, and this makes it personal."
You mentioned what the university has said 200 meters away. It has been reported now by CNN as well. And I do believe that Charlie Kirk's own family was in attendance at that event. He does leave behind his wife and two children. He was only 31 years old. And this is someone who, as you say, has taken that MAGA movement and really uplifted them through those younger generations. Just in terms of the incident itself, what was happening at the time of the shooting and what was the reaction when it happened?
Well, right. This event was part of his Great American Comeback Tour, where he was starting to host several events across college campuses across the United States. I believe this was the first event of that tour, where he was trying to engage once again, now that school is back in session here in the U.S., trying to engage with young voters. And Charlie Kirk, has become very well known for his extremely controversial far right stances. Very critical of transgender Americans, critical of the Civil Rights Act of Martin Luther King, calling vaccine mandates, quote, medical apartheid, saying the famine in Gaza, for example, was Hamas's fault. But at the same time, he owned up to these very controversial stances, but was also very much open to debate. And part of these events that he would host on college campuses primarily was that he would engage with people who had opposing views to him. And that was, again, something that we saw on the event advertisement for this day, saying if you have different opinions or opposing opinions to Charlie Kirk, you get to jump the line, come and engage with Charlie Kirk to talk about these opinions. And that appears to would have been to what was happening right before he was shot in the neck. Somebody asked him about whether he thought there was a disproportionate number of transgender people among mass shooters. There was a brief tussle back and forth, as usually happens, and then that's what that shot rang out and hit Charlie Kirk in the neck, and ultimately the shot that did kill him this Wednesday.
Wassim Cornet there with the updates of the incident that has killed Charlie Kirk, a conservative commentator dead at the age of 31. Donald Trump expressing his absolute distress at the news.